I've got one that can see.
There are people out there right now, many watching right now, who just don't believe that any of this is happening, and that's fine. I get that. But over the last 2 weeks, multiple people, including 2 members of Congress, have not denied that our own government is experimenting with mixing the DNA between some alien species and humans, while the White House continues to telegraph that further disclosure is coming. We don't know when. Dr. Stephen Greer is the founder of the Disclosure Project. He is a researcher, a medical doctor. He's been on the forefront of...
I know this guy right here is a shill, but just listen to what he says. Hold on.
This conversation for the last 3 decades. Dr. Greer, good to have you back. Last week, I had one of those members of Congress on this show, Tim Burchett, and he said this. Take a look.
If they would release the things that I've seen, you would stay up, you'd be up at night. I was briefed last week on an issue, 2 weeks ago, and it would have set the earth on this country would have come unglued, I think, if they would have heard all that I heard. They would demand answers, and we need to. The people that know are dying or disappearing, as the case may be.
Wow.
And for the record, I'm not suicidal.
Okay, so he said the things that I've seen would keep you up at night. You texted me right after the show that night, Dr. Greer.
Right.
Do you know what he's talking about, like, specifically?
Yeah, I do. So for a number of decades, we have used the retrieved non-human bodies, biologicals they're called, and created creatures that are part human, part not human.
What they're doing, this is my opinion, is, it says as it was in the days of Noah, when they mingled their seed with man and they bear giants. That's what they're doing now. In so many words, they're mingling the DNA with these fallen ones, which they call them aliens. They're mingling their seed with humans. If that's not the days of Noah, then I don't know what else is.
Very advanced biomedical research, and I've known about this since the 90s, and these have been used in covert operations, like the CIA document we have that admits they were using this sort of tech as well as the man-made UFOs to stage and hoax alien abductions and all manner of nonsense. The problem is, it sounds like a science fiction movie, but it's been part of a larger multi-decade psychological warfare operation, partly run out of a division of the CIA and some out of other special operations and attached to the aerospace industry giants. But yes, we know details of that.
Giants, he said it. I tell you really got to read between the lines in these stories because they're putting it out there to the public for a reason. And of course they're lying. They lie about everything, but they do slip in some truth. You just got to have your discernment and try to pull it out.
We know where these weird experiments are going on, and I've handed that off to certain people in the national security structure and to certain members of Congress, as well as the names of whistleblowers who have been involved.
Okay, let me hold on. So there's a breeding program. Matt Gaetz said that. Tim Burchett didn't deny that. You're confirming that. Are there female volunteers that are taking part in this program? Like, how does that work?
No, there are no. The human subjects are ones who have been captured in distressed areas and used for human experimentation. It's similar to what one of our whistleblowers admitted to, last year when he said that.
Do you know, Dr. Greer, why would we do?
Wow, did you ever think you would hear this? Stuff like this in the mainstream news? Wow.
It's like, why? Who would want to do that?
They would do it to try to create diversions and make people think that there's a threat from outer space when there isn't one, and also to confuse and cover up illegally run covert programs and say the aliens are doing it. It's a classic diversion and deception operation.
Let me ask you about that. General Mike Flynn, and I don't mean to cut you off, we have to do this in the interest of time, so for everyone at home, that's why. General Mike Flynn retweeted the interview with Tim Burchett. Here's the quote. I think we have the tweet. I believe Tim Burchett, he is not a man to mince words or to short sell the normal political BS, but be aware of a false flag alien operation by rogue elements inside the U.S. government. Dr. Greer, can you explain what he's talking about?
Yes, and this is exactly what Werner von Braun, who invented the rocket for Adolf Hitler, warned us on his deathbed. And he said that there would be an attempt to hoax a threat from outer space and kind of throw the world into sort of a totalitarian global dystopia. And that's been a plan that's been around since the mid-1950s. Okay. So General Flynn is 100% correct. And these sort of weird and scary things that you hear about associated with UFOs and UAPs is part of that psychological warfare operation.
Okay. I just want to ask you about Artemis 2, circled the moon, and NASA keeps shutting off the feed. They've got a live feed. You can essentially look anytime you want. And anytime there's something outside the window that doesn't look right out there in space, they just shut off the feed. Why are they doing that? Who's monitoring this that we're not supposed to see?
Now, we know this right here is definitely BS.
Well, it goes through a National Security Agency filtering system. And my uncle, as you know, helped design the lunar module, landed on the moon in 1969. And that was done then through a relay station in Australia and some other locations. So that is routine, just to be able to be sure nothing is said or seen without first being captured and reviewed.
So it's safe to say Artemis 2 is being watched. Is that safe to say?
Sure.
Yeah,
yes,
the other thing, and we don't have any time, but they didn't release any photos from the dark side of the moon that were not like iPhone 17 edited. Like there were no raw photos and you couldn't see the feed. They said they lost connection, so you couldn't see the feed.
I tell you what, man, you talking about a time of deception like no other. I mean, these lies upon lies upon lies. It's really bad, man.
The whole time this thing was going behind the moon, which is very suspicious. 15 seconds. Any thought on that?
Yes, one of our whistleblowers, Carl Wolf, saw the images in '68 coming.
Carl Wolf, the wolves in sheep's clothing.
Back from that area, and there were artificial structures that were there that were removed from what NASA saw. So we know there are objects there.
That would explain that. Dr. Greer, we're going to get an answer. We're going to get there, my friend. Good to have you back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the coming of the Son of Man.